All right, so Braden's tractor again, it's not working. So I have a feeling it's the switch. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I have that feeling. This is an aftermarket switch because it could cut. I bought it because it comes in the next day. I also ordered this time. I also ordered the OEM switch. The OEM switch lasted about two and a half years or so before I replaced it with this switch, this aftermarket switch. And this one's been in for what, maybe a month or so? Not even a month, I think. I think it's already bad. So let's take this thing out and see if I can get it, so I can test it. So under the tractor, there's this yellow tab that you have to push up real hard. Okay, I think I got it up far enough. Pull this up. And the switch is under. Let's test it real quick. Cabling. Oh, might not be the cabling's kind of burn up here. Okay, let's just test the. Beep beep. So this bottom one and the middle one should be on. Okay, and this one should be off. Okay, now press it down. The bottom one should be off. I mean, the middle one should be off, and this one should be off. This one burned up too. It's already burned up. So if I get it off, and this, okay. But when I press it down, this top one should be lit up. It should connect, but it's not. And this one should be off too. So it's not, which is right. So the switch is bad, but I'm kind of concerned about this wiring. The problem comes in this. The switch is a 10 amp switch. 10 amps at 6 volts. This is 12 volts, and from what I could tell from the motors and everything, is pulling a little bit over 30 amps through this little tiny switch. And then you can tell from the wiring that the wiring is kind of chewed up, and it's definitely burnt up. It's melted in several places, and that's not good. The jacket's starting to come off. The back side of this is melted, so it has some amperage to do that. You know, that this is I believe this is a 12 or 10 gauge wire, and it should be able to handle most of that current without getting to this stage of melting. So so if you do not have the technical expertise to repair this, or you do not know somebody that has the technical expertise to repair this, do not buy one of these. Not just the Peg Perego brand. I'm talking about Hot Wheels and all these other Chinese ones that are coming out. Do not buy them. They break all the time. It's not worth the frustration for you and your kid. Your kid's gonna end up crying. Like even our son, he cries when this thing breaks. But he knows I can fix things, so I'm stuck fixing it. But it's just an aggravation. I'm on my 5th battery system in this thing. Now I have 2 large mobility scooter batteries in here. I've had to rewire things several times. I've put in a charge circuit because the original charger he couldn't do it in himself, and the charger went out. So I put in another charging system on here that works really well. He could charge it himself. It's really easy for him to use. There's a charge port right here on the dashboard. But yeah, this wiring is completely fried. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I just want to junk this thing and keep the batteries, because the batteries are still good, and use it at our hideaway for solar power stuff. But yeah, the problem is twofold. It's not just the switch, it's the wiring too. So you can see down here, I have the two mobility scooter batteries, 44 amp hour batteries, compared to the previous one was it's a 12 amp hour battery. I think the best one I've had in here so far that was decent was the it was a lithium, I think it was a 12 amp hour, 18 amp hour battery that I had. It fit in the front compartment, it connected to everything pretty nicely. The only problem was the internal battery system. If you try to hit the little gas pedal and it was in the high gear, it would trip the battery management, and I'd have to unplug the battery and plug it back in for it to start working again for some reason. But this is working good. So for the most part, it's just, you know, I have wires right here, got spliced in, and it's just, I don't know if I want to fix it again or do this. It's like, so far the whole battery system's completely changed. The charging system's changed, and I don't want to have to start redoing the wiring from the gas pedal to the speed switch and the motors. It's like every time I upgrade something else burns up or gets messed up. So man, I'll let my clippers clip this off and see what I can do. The only bad thing is I have no way of just turning off the battery on this thing. I don't have like a big switch or anything. There never was one, except for whenever the thing had the original wiring system, I could just unplug it real quick. God, this sucks. Yeah, people, I know it's live. I think I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. Let's just see if it works. Blue wire that goes around, this white wire goes to like the switch, everything. But this stuff right here is good. It's just this red piece, and I think if I can cut off all this burnt stuff. I have spade connectors like this that I could use and just splice in a new piece of wire. This is not good. You can see how burnt this wire became. I'm surprised this thing didn't catch fire. That'd have been something to see this thing smoking in the front yard. All right, here. It ain't gonna stay. I don't trust this. Dang. No, that ain't gonna work. So now what I'm installing. So I have flat connectors. Oh, here's one. It's gonna get installed onto the switch. this is gonna go in here. And this is diesel locomotive cable, DLO cable. So it's tinned copper with a Teflon sleeve inside of a rubber jacket, made for heavy duty applications. I think that's what I wired this thing with. But I need to get deeper into the, there we go. Let me go get my crimper so I can crimp that. And you can see the Teflon, just peel that back. I had some good diagonal pliers at one time, and I don't know what happened to them. They got ruined, like, so I guess I dropped them or something, and it was so hard to open and close after that. Make sure you always close your knife when you're done. Don't let your young kids play with that. It's very dangerous. Braden has already cut himself with it when we didn't realize he was in the garage playing with my tools. There we go. Now it's towards the end. Now I'm just gonna crimp the crap out of this right there. I don't move anymore. Okay. That's on there. Okay. Cool. Move some of these tools up off to the side. This is what this switch should be. So open. So it should be open, and this should, the bottom one, it's like a brake, so it reverses the current. So when you press the switch, this is off, but this one should be on. So those two into there. That's where they went. Where it went in. Okay. Drilled a new hole down here. Just feeding all the slack out of it because I want to cut it to length when I need it. So. Okay. And I think we're good right there. That can go back right there. Okay, so let's feel, that's good right there. Now we can start working on this side again. Here. Line it up, so I cut this off right here. That way when I connect it and crimp it, it's the right length. Like this. That's tough on. Sometimes it don't come off very well. One of my old bosses kind of got me into diesel locomotive cable. I don't know how, but he did. Adhesive line shrink wrap will seal it up from all the water and everything, because you can see it gets kind of damp down there. And can you imagine, I've been doing all this without my glasses on? You know how much better this would look if I had on my glasses? For those of you that are saying, oh, you should solder that, no, it does not meet the workmanship standard for something that has such high vibration. Okay, got my extension cord where I can do my heat gun. underneath here has been done. And you can see the adhesive, it kind of leaks out just a little bit from the process. So, and I'm not gonna cover all that. That's just gonna stay there. And I know I had another one somewhere. Okay, move up my tools out the way. It moves. That was my forward, fast, and reverse. Goes. Yeah, so this thing's been sitting for a little bit over a week now. The switch and the wiring, so you can see the wiring got melted. This, I think he only had maybe 2 weeks of playtime with the aftermarket switch. I do have an OEM switch on order, but to get it here today, I ordered an aftermarket switch, the same switch again. So the switch didn't do this. It's just this is, I don't know, this is 10 gauge wiring, but the jacket is just so thin on it, and I don't know, probably the way it was wired probably created some kind of heat problem around that area, so that might have burned up the switch and everything. So I have it connected a little bit more skookum, so it's going to hold up better hopefully, and I'm just hoping that this thing doesn't break for a while, because I am tired of repairing it. This morning I have to repair it today, because this morning he knew that the switch arrived last night, so I can't get away with not repairing it. So, but this has to be the last time. It has to be. I'm tired of messing with this thing. And again, if you don't know how to fix stuff like this, don't buy any model of this. It doesn't matter the brand, Peg, Perego, Power Wheels. Don't buy it. Don't buy the cheap Chinese junk, because all their controls are embedded in epoxy. Just don't buy any of it if you don't know how to fix it. It's not worth your child crying over all the time, because these things break, and they break in the weirdest ways. The first thing to go out is the circuit breaker. It's a heat activated circuit breaker. It's the first thing to go out. I replace it with a push button circuit breaker that I put underneath the seat. That way if it trips, I can reset it. That's the first thing to go out. The next thing to go out is probably whatever charging system the battery has. That goes out. The battery goes out quickly because you're always charging it, or the kid rides it for too long, depletes the battery too far, and it messes up the battery. That's enough. I'm done with this. When he gets home, he can ride it, go back in the backyard, charge it again. I'm done with it. Oh, and then the wheels crack. I right now have Gorilla Tape around the center line of the wheel up front. The back wheels have bicycle tire wrapped around it for added traction and to keep the wheel from breaking. These bicycle tires are from a bicycle I bought in 1995. Can you believe that? tires are what, almost 30 years old. Still roll good, but yeah. And we leave this outside, so that's part of some of the problem, but it's not all of the problem. I mean, these things were designed very simply, I guess, to keep down the cost and also to make them easy to work on. But it is what it is, and I wouldn't, if I didn't know how to repair this, I would have never bought it. Or if I did, I would have been very, very mad the first time it broke. Yeah, if you don't know how to repair these things, don't buy it. It's not worth your time. Like what I did today on Braden's tractor is still not a real fix. It's gonna happen again. I know it. What needs to happen is I need to install a switch, like a keyed switch or something, to where you can have fun turning off and on, and a relay. The relay is to get the power to the motors, because I can get a relay that can handle 40 or 50 amps that's not going to wear out over time, like that little tiny switch is. That switch is only rated for 10 amps at 6 volts, which is not very much power at all. So yeah, eventually I'm gonna need to do that. I just dread doing it because it's more wiring and more frustration for me, but it's gonna allow him not to have any more worries about that little switch going bad over time. So yeah, I think I'm gonna return this switch because it looks fine from the outside, but I know that the inside's busted, it doesn't work. So I'm gonna try to return the switch to the manufacturer or to the seller on Amazon, and whenever this new switch goes out, then I'm gonna return that one too, and we're gonna just keep doing that, until they take off the Gator as one of the acceptable uses for that switch, because it's too much power for that little switch. Peg Perego should have put in a relay in that circuit, and they didn't, and that's what's really causing all the issue.